Allow me to present one of the most beautiful and useful types of intelligence, in my opinion, of course, the emotional intelligence. One of my dearest colleagues once told me that when he was young, his grandmother used to say to him, "Hit your heart, son, that's where the true genius is." What a simple, colorful, and helpful way she had to describe the intelligence of the heart. How would you personally describe an intelligent person? Perhaps it's a person who excels in mathematics or logic, a person who has good spatial orientation skills, like an engineer or an architect. Is it someone who has an ear for music or is skilled in woodworking? Or is it a person who easily picks up languages and speaks them with a nice French accent? I'm just kidding. There are several types of intelligence, and they all are remarkable. However, only one type of intelligence really highlights our day-to-day lives and is essential in order to learn how to feel good about ourselves and be comfortable with others. Indeed, when we're talking about a person who shows great emotional intelligence, we're talking about someone who has been able to develop all 5 interconnected dimensions of this intelligence. This person is someone who knows him or herself, is aware of his quality, shortcomings, abilities, vulnerabilities, values, goals, and knows what makes him or her feel good or better. 2, someone who's able to deal with his or her emotions and stress and has a balanced life routine. 3, someone who is able to stay focused on goals and who is capable of achieving them one step at a time. 4, someone who truly cares about others, people's life experiences, and who is able to decode people's feelings and need with empathy. And finally, 5, someone who is good at interacting with others, who is a good team player or who can effectively resolve interpersonal problems and has a sense of humor. Wow! Who wouldn't like to hang out to work with a person like this? As you may have noticed, the first 3 dimensions of emotional intelligence relate to intrapersonal skills. So me towards me. While the 4th and the 5th relate to interpersonal skills. Me towards others. One of the important keys to improve our emotional intelligence is to understand that these 5 dimensions of emotional intelligence are all interrelated and form a causal chain. For example, how can I show empathy towards my friend if I'm too busy dealing with my heartbreak or my stress at work? How can I stay motivated in a school program if I don't even know if I really like it or I'm caught up for it? Or how can I manage my frustration in a situation experience with my mother if I'm not aware what bothers me about it? I'm going to tell you a secret, but please don't say a word to my father, okay? When I was young, whenever my father was hungry, hot, cold, or in a bit of pain, he tended, without meaning to be a bit cranky and cold with us. As a teenager who hadn't quite managed to develop her emotional intelligence, yet I would tell him, "Hey Dad, you're being harsh." And he would answer right back, "No, I'm not harsh. I'm just a tad impatient." And then, for a long time afterwards, when my father reached his 60s, he told me one afternoon, out of the blue, "Hey, you know, Jacinthe, I think I've realized something. when I'm feeling hot or cold or hungry, I think I get impatient with people around me. No, really, Dad? The fact is, my dad could not self-regulate his emotions because he wasn't aware of them. Some people can try to help us raise our awareness by saying things like, for example, hey, what about keeping a small bag of nuts in your bag for times when you get hungry? But most of the time, however, we have to figure things out for ourselves through self-observation, one step at a time, in order to develop our emotional intelligence. So, as you can see, the first dimension of emotional intelligence is a prerequisite to be able to better develop the second and one, and so on and so forth, etc. I'm not saying that it is not possible, for example, to show great empathy if you don't know yourself that well. But the overall process will be less efficient. Some people, for instance, are good with empathy and social skills, but they tend to neglect their needs and goals, and vice versa. However, a true emotionally intelligent person has mastered the process as a whole. Indeed, it's easy to show empathy and to act in a calm manner with others when everything is going well. But it's a real challenge to do so when you're dealing with your own hard to manage emotion at the same time. If I asked you to take a few minutes just to self-evaluate all 5 dimensions of your emotional intelligence on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you fare? Sometimes this little exercise can help us to identify the stronger points of our emotional intelligence, to consciously rely on your strengths, but it can also help us turn our attention on our more challenging dimension, it needs of improvement. Lately, with all that's been happening in the world, we have lost some of the reference points that allow us to usually manage best our daily routines. Therefore, the self-awareness and self-regulation dimension, the 1 and the 2 of our emotional intelligence, have been badly shaken up. This has impacted our motivation, our empathy for others, and our way of interacting with people. Indeed, some people are used to manage stress by going out with their friends or play sports, all things that they couldn't do at the time. Others who used to love school because they got to interact with others were questioning their school program or their career choices. Also, a lot of us have been overwhelmed and having to stay coped up in a small space with the same people day in, day out. And finally, some people, not you and me of course, have been binge watching Netflix because they couldn't do anything else or didn't know what to do else. Over the last while, our emotional intelligence has obviously been seriously challenged. Let's not be too hard on ourselves though. Let us show some flexibility and self-empathy and gives ourselves the time to rediscover ourselves in these difficult times. Isn't it emotional intelligence the most beautiful, interesting type of intelligence to work on? I hope you enjoyed it. Here's to the pleasure of meeting with you soon in the next video. Have a great day.